Amyra is actually an Arabic name. It means princess. So I'm a Parsi girl, right? So my mom's side is slightly Irani Parsi. So there is a little bit of Muslim heritage because they were originally from Iran itself. And that's why a lot of Parsis have a lot of like Muslim names. Like even my brother, his name is Jahangir. So we've got a little mixture in the family. So I've been born and brought up in Bombay itself. We're a completely, total, full Parsi family. Next door is my aunt's flat actually. So we grew up, me and my brother grew up with our two cousin sisters, and we basically had a blast. Jahangir and I are only 1 year apart. He's younger than me. Mom was a full-on stay-at-home mother. Dad is a doctor and he worked a lot, but Mummy was always at home for us, and she basically raised us completely. We really bullied her, like two kids the same age. We were quite a handful, but ultimately, even now, we'd say we're very grateful to her. I went to boarding school for 2 years when I was 13 till the age of 15 in Pune. Learned a lot, learned how to be a little independent, and at about 16 I started modeling. Mum paid for my entire portfolio, and yeah, I just started from there. So Mum wasn't too happy about me doing ramp modeling at such a young age because it is a slightly vicious industry, and she thought that I would be a little too innocent for it. But I started off with commercials and advertisements. I started with Clean and Clear, I did Micromax, I did Airtel, a lot of commercial work. And then at 18, because of these commercials actually, I was called in to audition for a film called Isak. My family, both my mother and father, have always been very supportive, and I guess their only worry was that, you know, if this doesn't work out, I need a backup. So I was always good with school. But for Isak, I actually had to make a choice. Either I had to leave the film and stay in school, or I could do the film but leave school. So I left school, I did Isak, but as soon as I was done, we shot for about 3 to 4 months. So after about 6 months of the film, like as a whole, I joined a different school and I finished my education. I started at 18. It was really difficult the first few days on shoot because we were shooting in Banaras. I was in Banaras for 3 months, and it's a really tough city. It's very rural. So, you know, it was really hard for a city girl to adapt to such a rural setting, but I managed with the help of my co-star and my director. Prateek was a blast to work with. We were basically around the same age group, so it was really easy to talk to him, to chill with him, and there were absolutely no issues. He's a fantastic person to work with, and a great first co-star to have. Manish really guided me through Isak. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have, you know, like given the performance I did. So a lot of the credit goes to him for that. And all my ADs made me comfortable. I was really close to my stylist at the time. And, you know, from a difficult shoot, it just became easier and easier every day because of the people around me. I've been rejected from over 40 different films from the time I was 16 to the time I got Isak when I was 18. It was really hard because my Hindi was not the strongest. I am from a Parsi family, so it does affect. But I worked on my Hindi, and even for Isak, I auditioned about 10 to 20 times until Manish was like, listen, you can get Isak on one condition. You need to do these workshops every day for 3 months before we start shooting the film. If your Hindi comes up to mark, then we will sign the contract and move on with it. Otherwise, sorry, see you later. So for 3 months, without knowing whether I'd landed the film or not, I did these workshops every day in Andheri for about 6 to 8 hours every single day. And yeah, finally, after the 3 months were up, I signed the contract about 5 days before we went off to Banaras to shoot. If I remember, this is 21 now, so this was literally 3 years ago. My God. I can say one line, but that's all I remember. तो तुम प्यार करते हो हमसे? I say this to a lot of girls because a lot of these young kids ask me, you know, how are you so thin? How are you this? Like, how can you like even look so good? And I just want to let all of y'all know, till I was 15, I was a fat tomboy. Literally, I was a big girl. Like, I only lost my baby fat when I was like about 15, 16, so it was really funny. And it happened. So, To me, it just means having the right attitude and, just be comfortable in what you like to wear. Don't try to be someone you're not, because then you could have the most beautiful gown in the world, but if you're not comfortable in it, it'll show. So just be yourself and wear things that make you comfortable and confident as a person. I love white. I don't know why. I've got this insane fascination with white. Well, actually, I saw Mughal-e-Azam before. I saw a lot of Hindi movies. So from that, I love Madhubala. I thought she was absolutely fantastic. And she'll always be my, inspiration in a way. Huge fan of Dilip Kumar. And current Bollywood hero that I find extremely talented is Amir Khan. I've seen almost all his movies. I just like the fact that he's never done the same role twice. It's always something different and something, weird in an interesting way. And I find that extremely commendable, because that man works on his acting as well as his entire body. I don't think I've ever seen him play the same part twice. I'm a very conscious dancer, so to get me to dance, honestly, luckily in the last 3 films I've done, I haven't had to dance, so that was a lot of fun. But now I think I'm very scared that they are gonna ask me to dance, so scary. But I've been doing Kathak, I've been doing hardcore Bollywood training, so let's see. Hopefully I won't slip and fall. My favorite choreographer is Ganesh Acharya because of all the different movies he's done. I think he brings something new for each actor, and what I've seen is, I don't know how, but he's given each actor sort of their kind of own steps when it comes to dancing. So yeah, Ganesh Acharya. I like sort of semi-Sufi kind of music. For me, lyrics are very important in a song. I love listening to for example, in Isak, my favorite song wasn't Isak Tera, it was actually Jeeni Re Jeeni. And even in Mr. X, one of my favorite songs is Teri Khushboo, which again isn't your normal, everyday, dance kind of music. It's actually very soulful and the words are very meaningful, which is what I love about it. And the fact that the singers bring emotion to the song, that's what I love when it comes to listening to music. Honestly, I'd say Mr. X was probably one of the most difficult roles I've ever had to do, because here, if you see my personality and then you see the personality of Sia Varma, my character in the film, we're completely different people. She's a cold, sort of semi-heartless girl. She's had a really, really hard childhood, which is why she is the way she is. And finally, she meets this man, Imran, who turns out to be her partner in the anti-terrorist department, as well as the love of her life. So these two people are about to get married, and then he basically betrays her. And the story of Mr. X, the whole plot behind Mr. X is basically revenge. So it's not just him taking revenge against people who have wronged him, it's her going against this man who she knows so well. And the best part about her is she's not afraid to take advantage of the fact that she knows him so well. So she does do a few dirty tricks to get him in a very tight spot, and it's also the story of this woman taking revenge against the man who basically she loves. People have said that they think I'm a very choosy person when it comes to work. But I totally agree with that, because for me, it's not about making the bucks and then stepping out by the time I'm 30. For me, it's about making a really good name for myself and doing the kind of films that would inspire people, in your day-to-day life. Because to me, at least while growing up, I was always fascinated by films because I feel like they can transport you into a different world. For those 2 hours, it helps you forget about reality and your problems and, all the crises that you're facing. And then, yeah, you get to see something that's beautiful and something that, brings out a feeling from your own, emotions. So for me, I will choose films where I know I can have some sort of impact on people, and I want to be part of good films, of quality films. They were a really, really big part of my life, because every day from school I'd come home, I'd put on a good film and I'd just sit back and enjoy it. I've always had this fascination with, how movies are made, how these big stars do their own stunts, how, you can crash a car straight into a wall and everything's fine. And, the special effects, the cinematography, the direction, the story, the script writing, screenwriters, the dialogues, every single thing about films just fascinated me as a kid. But then when I got more and more into it, I realized that acting was actually my calling. So yeah, I guess you could say that I just love films as a whole and not just acting. Probably London, because I have a lot of family there. My uncle shifted to London when he was young, and I've been to that city probably every year, if not every alternate year. And I just love it. I love the place, I love the people, I love the culture. So yeah, I guess I'd say London. I don't have any filmy background, so everything I've gotten here is because of my hard work and all, but I've had very good managers over the years. So they have brought me a lot of good work. They have pitched for me. They've, told me that, okay, you need to take this Hindi diction teacher, you need to go for these particular set of dance classes. So I've had good people in my life to guide me. But if you would say a Bollywood godfather, no, I've never met a Bollywood godfather, nor have I ever had one. I've always wanted to work with Yash Raj. I think it's every newbie's dream in a way, and even people who've been here for a while, because I don't know, Yash Raj is just, there's some connect. But my favorite director, however, is Sanjay Leela Bhansali. I grew up watching his films actually. I say Guzarish and Devdas are my favorite films. I'd probably just like hug him and I wouldn't let go. I'd be like, okay, I'll do your film, no problem. I'm a very superstitious person. I don't let on, but yeah, I'm very superstitious. Like, I remember one of my friends was trying to open an umbrella and I almost hit him because I was so angry. I was like, no, you can't open an umbrella in an apartment under a roof. Are you kidding? That's like calling the karma and the bad luck and everything. So I was like, no, don't do it. My bua was actually a very superstitious woman. So because we grew up so close together, she was always at home. She taught my brother and me a lot. So the superstition problem is actually from her. And yes, I do believe in not talking. I will never talk about a film. I don't even tell my parents about the films I'm in talks for until I sign on the dotted line. Because I have this thing about jinxes as well, and I don't want to jinx anything. So literally everything I have gotten, I'll tell my parents. One day before I sign, I'll be like, oh, by the way, I've gotten a film. So they get very irritated with me, but I don't know, I just always have believed in superstitions. You know, I think we all have some sort of traits and allow us to empathize with the characters that you see me on screen as. Because that's the point. I do want to affect the audience in some way, and you can only affect an audience if they empathize with you. So I guess I do share 1-2 traits with the characters, but otherwise as a person, no, I've never seen myself like as the character completely. You know, I always knew that this is the girl I'm going to play. I never thought that, oh, maybe this is exactly how I am. No, luckily none of my friends look at me like that, because most of my friends, I'm a very introverted person, so the friends I have been in my life for like 7-8 years. You know, so they've seen me from my little chubby phase to now, and they all make fun of me. They bring me back down to earth sometimes when I'm in the clouds. The only sad thing is, after the 12th grade, all of them went off to university and I stayed here to pursue my dreams. So when they do talk about their experiences in university and all, I do feel a little left out because I have no experiences to share with them. But then when I start talking about acting and all, they listen and they're so like fascinated by the world and fascinated by how I guess I went from, you know, talking about always wanting to become an actress and actually doing it. And they all say they're very proud of me for that. I'd love to work with all my co-stars again. Prateek, Dhanush and Imran are fantastic co-stars. But someone I would particularly love to work with would probably be, let's see, who are my faves? I'd love to work with Ranbir Kapoor one day. I think he's a fantastic actor. Even an Amyra Khan, like I said before, because huge fan. I think it's silly, but luckily, like I said, I've got very supportive parents. So, you know, when these rumors come out, the thing I'm very scared of is my father or my mother reacting badly to it, because I still live at home with them and I'm still under their roof. And, you know, it's weird because, you know, for a girl, especially in India, to be linked up with so many guys, it doesn't look very good. But I'm used to it now. When it started happening in the beginning with Isak, I was a little irritated, but my sisters, my brothers, they've all taught me how to laugh at it. So now if anything comes out, I genuinely don't care. My mother has also called me very, very asexual because I'm someone who is so focused. I'm so focused on my career right now, and especially with Mr. X just about to come out, I can like see the finish line right there. So you know, that run towards it, it's just one path and one path alone, and nothing and no one can distract me right now. I believe in God. I believe that there is one supreme being in this world who has created this world, who has created us. But unfortunately, I'm not a believer in religion. I see it as something that has sort of caused boundaries for people as a whole. So I'm not religious, but I do believe in God. I'm an Indian. I'm you in a way, like, and you are me. I don't know how to explain it. I just feel like all of us are sort of the same in every single way. It's just what's the difference? Color, hair type, like size, that's it. But otherwise, I just feel like all of us are the exact same, and we're all made from the same mold. So, well, I'm a huge animal lover. Actually, I've become a pescatarian, and by that I mean I only eat fish. I don't even eat shellfish. I used to be a non-vegetarian, but I saw a couple of videos, and I don't have a lot against non-vegetarians. Like, if you're gonna kill an animal, kill the animal, don't torture the poor thing. So I don't see sense in that. But when it comes to beauty, I feel that people base so much on the physicality of a person, and I've met the most physically beautiful people, I really have, but they're horrid on the inside. Like, I've seen, you know, women and men who just mistreat other people just because they feel that they are better and superior because of their looks. And I've actually grown up being, you know, like that chubby tomboy, so I've seen it from both sides. I've seen how people treat me now that they think I'm beautiful, and I saw how people treated me when they didn't. So for me, people who are fake, people who just look good from the outside but are bad on the inside, I find them a little plastic and fake. But beauty for me is having an unmatchable personality. And ultimately, I feel that, at least in this day and age now, with, you know, with plastic surgery, with makeup, you can just make anyone look pretty, but people are going to remember you for your personality. So I feel that beauty is more on the inside than it is on the outside. The fact that I'm not very short-tempered in a way, I'm kind of a chilled out person, and people have actually told me that I give a very chilled out vibe. And that's what I like, because I feel that the more comfortable I am with myself, the more comfortable people get around me. And I don't know, that just helps me build a better relationship with people than someone who I would say is stuck up or snooty. Sometimes people say that I look like Jacqueline Fernandez in some shots, sometimes they say I look like Nargis, sometimes they say Katrina. So luckily all three of them are actually some of the most beautiful actresses in B-Town today. So I like the compliments, but I just want people to recognize me for me. See, I'd say that's a slightly unfair question, because times have changed as well. Here the media is so, I'd say, hard on an actress sometimes, and I don't think that's right. Whereas at least at that time there wasn't so much accessibility. You never had the internet. You didn't have like TVs in every household, you know what I mean? You didn't have like computers in every household. So at that time, for people to actually see a star, it was very rare, because there was no accessibility. I mean, the most you had were probably pictures. Here we've got the net, we've got the mobile phone. You take a picture in Ibiza, it'll surface here in a day. It's ridiculous. So I do feel that actresses here have, like in this day and age, have become a little more guarded and in a way I'd say a little more aggressive, but that's only because of how aggressively the media has changed and how aggressive the world itself has become. Funny thing is, all the three movies that I've been a part of are so romantic and so lovey-dovey, but I am the most unromantic person you'll meet. I kind of find it a little, I don't even know what word to use, because I think I'll be politically incorrect. I find it very like corny, you know, like the whole chocolates and candles and stuff, and it's so like, it's so cliched and done all the time. For me, a perfect date would be like a guy whisking me away and like say taking me paintballing or taking me to like go-karting or doing something just absurd, you know, because ultimately that's what you'll remember. You're not going to remember a candlelit dinner. You'll just be like, oh, he took me to a restaurant and bought me fancy food, wow. No, it has to be different. It has to be like memorable. Well, now I've done a Mr. X, so I want to do something more, I'd say, grungy. This was a slightly, I wouldn't say glam role, but a pretty role for sure. So here I'm looking to do something a little less pretty and a little more scary in a way. I've always wanted to play the bad guy in a movie. For me, being pretty is actually about being confident and comfortable in your own skin. I find, you know, like I've met a couple of women who aren't very confident, and they're really pretty, and they're just still so insecure. And you know, for me, that's not attractive. An attractive woman for me is someone who has that confidence, who knows exactly who she is, and she's not afraid to show it. We did that for Mr. X. It's a full-on action role, so I loved it. I loved shooting the gun. I loved driving. I loved running. I loved doing the action sequences. I had a blast. I'm a little sick of the romance now. I just feel like my life really lacks it, so doing it in movies is just like a slap across the face. But anyway, I want to do something. I don't mind doing commercial movies, but I don't want to do a commercial movie where someone will put me in a bikini and be like, okay, so you're the hero's arm candy. That's not my kind of film. I would love to do something that hits the audience, for example, an NH10, a Queen, a Mary Comb, something a little more woman-oriented in a way. I'd be surprised if you could honestly find anything in my closet with the way that I keep it, but you'll definitely see that little black dress in there somewhere. It's one of the first dresses that I ever wore. I remember it was from Forever 21. It was a proper bodycon black dress, and I still have it. I bought it when I was like 15 in Thailand, and yeah, I still have it because I still fit into it. So every time I'm feeling down, I'll just quickly slip it on and I'll be like, oh, I haven't changed. See, I'm someone who believes in eating exactly what you want. But if you want to stay fit, then you can't expect to eat a pizza and lie at home all day. Get up, go for a run, work it off. So yeah, I'm very, very, very into fitness and athletics because I was a chubby kid at one point, and I used to play a lot of sports. So that's how I lost the weight. That's how I lost a lot of, I was an angry kid as well. I lost a lot of aggression, and I do Pilates, I do weight training, and I do yoga as well. So it depends on my mood. I'll call up my trainer the day before and I'll just be like, okay, can we do weight training today? Or can we do Pilates today? Or I'll call up my guru and I'll be like, can we please meditate for a bit today? Because I've had a tough week and I need to just calm down. I think that's the thing about women. I don't think any woman can say we don't like jewelry. I'm someone, however, I love stones. I love sapphires, I love emeralds, I love rubies, not that much, but diamonds, obviously. And I'm someone who'd actually choose gold over everything else. I don't know why. I have this obsession with gold. My mother actually has this beautiful emerald set that's been given from, it was actually from our great-great-grandmother, and it's been passed down. So that's the only thing I'd ever beg my mother for. Just try to stay young as much as you can. It's all of us like can't wait to grow up, I guess, in a way, and you know, we all want to like be older than we are, but just be who you are, stay the same, and don't let other people affect your personality and your behavior. You're special in your own way.